While they're coming, I was talking to a couple of younger ministers that's under me. Today I celebrate another year in the ministry, and I was talking to Minister Souls. When I started preaching, Minister Souls was 7 years old. I talked to Minister Jones. When I started preaching, Minister Jones was 1 year old. I said, "Come here, Minister Terrence." I said, "How old are you?" And he told me he wasn't even born when I started preaching. I ain't asked the rest of these guys because they ancient. When I started pastoring this church, Minister Turner told me, he said, "Man, don't you never call me son." And I've held to that. And I thought about these 43 years today. I said, "Dante, I want you to do that." I'm grateful, y'all. I wish I had somebody. Any grateful folk in here? Yes, yeah. If you're not scared, raise your hand. That's how I feel today, y'all. That's my testimony today, y'all.
Yes, I'm grateful for the victories we won.
I could go
on and on and on
about your word because I'm grateful.
I'm grateful, grateful, so grateful just to praise you, Lord. Flowing from my heart
Are the
issues of my heart.
His gratefulness.
I thought I had some more grateful folk in here.
I am grateful for the things that you have done. Yes, I'm grateful for the victories we won. I could go on and on and on about your word. Because I'm grateful, grateful, so grateful just to praise you, Lord.
Flowing from my heart,
Flowing from my heart.
are the issues of
Issues of my heart. Is gratefulness.
gratefulness.
Grateful, 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 gratefulness is flowing from my heart. Grateful, grateful, grateful,
God, I'm so grateful.
grateful, grateful,
God, I'm so grateful for all you've done.
grateful, grateful.
Oh, I'm grateful.
Gratefulness is flowing from my heart. Grateful, grateful, grateful.
God, I'm so grateful. God, I'm so grateful. God, I'm so grateful. Yeah. Oh, it's flowing from my heart. Hey, God, yes you do. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. It's flowing from my heart, oh Lord. Are the issues of His gratefulness. Hallelujah, hallelujah, Lord. He deserves all the glory. Give God some praise in the house. He's worthy, 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 He's worthy. You are God. God, we lift you up, Jesus. Nobody like you, Lord. Nobody like you, Lord. God, we're so grateful, Jesus. Greater than any yoke is grateful, Lord. Thank you for the shepherd in the house, Lord. Hey, hey.
Praise the Lord, everybody. Praise the Lord, everybody. Anybody really grateful in this house? Before we came out, before the preachers came out,
Yes, sir.
I started talking to the preachers. And I started telling them how grateful I am. I started telling them how grateful I am. We had our own little worship in the back. I told them, I said, guys, I came to the pulpit, I was so ashamed. I ain't have nothing to wear. I was so ashamed. I look at my buddies, they were all dressed up. I was so ashamed. But the Lord just kept telling me to go. It got cold. I started preaching in the winter. I ain't have a coat. And I wasn't going to worry my mother about nothing. And the Lord just kept saying, go. And I told them how it was. Told them how it was to just have a couple of shirts. But I told them folks, I said, guys, if you just go, He'll be with you. I wish I had somebody. He'll be with you. He'll get you over every hump and every hurdle. I really came to the pulpit thinking I wasn't going to be nobody. But God will pick you up. God will pick you up and He'll do something with your life. how grateful I am to the Lord for where and what he has brought me to. Amen, amen. Praise the name of the Lord. Amen. Thank God for this worship. Ushers, you may be seated. Thank you so much. I know this is Communion Sunday, so let me hurry on. Thank God for all of you. Open your Bibles. And over these years, I've been revisiting and re-looking at scriptures. What an amazing worship we had on last Sunday. Oh, yeah. Amen. Somebody said I was preaching like I went off my rockers last Sunday, because sometimes you ought to tell it like it is. All right. Amen. If we're going to save our young people. But there's another word I want to look at today, and I want to kind of be short with it so we can celebrate the Lord's Supper. It's in Isaiah chapter 6. All right. You should have a truckload of notes on it, but I just only want to read verse 1. Isaiah chapter 6 and verse number 1. Isaiah chapter 6, verse 1. I'm reading from the New American Standard translation, and there you will find these words. In the year of King Uzziah's death, I saw the Lord sitting on a throne, lofty. King James Version says high, and exalted, says high and lifted up, with the train of his robe filling the temple. Amen. This is the word of the Lord. May the Lord use his word to speak to our hearts. I want to preach about this morning, for this allotted time I have, when Uzziahs die. When Uzziahs die. For countless years, brother preachers, I have listened and I have, even without really delving into it, been guilty of mishandling King Uzziah. Most of the time when we preach about Uzziah, we paint him in a corner as being one of the most wretched and wicked people in the Bible. And most of us paint the picture that it was because of King Uzziah that Isaiah was not able to see God. Are y'all listening to me today? But I decided to do a little research. And I found out that King Uzziah was not as bad as we might think he was. Because I looked in 2 Chronicles chapter 26. And there I was able to uncover some history about King Uzziah's reign. What I found out about King Uzziah was that as long as he was on the throne, the people prospered. Y'all not talking to me. And because of Uzziah's reign, God tremendously blessed his people. And as a matter of fact, the people got so comfortable with King Uzziah until they associated their blessings with him and not God. I wish I had somebody. And you do know you have to watch yourself, because there'll be times when you will think your blessings comes from someone other than God. And many of us have gotten to the place and we have resolved that we cannot live without certain people. I wish I had somebody. And we think if something were to happen to them, that our lives will crumble and fall apart. Because we associate them with all of the blessings that are coming our way, and we get to believing that they are the source. But I wanted to preach to you, what are you going to do when your Uzziah dies? Because you do know Uzziahs do die. I wish I had somebody. And I know all of us in here will give to this. It might be a little touchy for some of us, but I know some people, as soon as somebody passes away or goes to the other side, we lose our minds. We get in a state of depression, and we feel that we cannot make it without them. But may I submit to you today that sometimes in order for God to open your eyes, God has to allow your Uzziah to go away. Talk to me, somebody. And when Uzziah died, I used to think this was just here to mark time so he would remember when he saw the Lord, but there's more to it than that, because it was when Uzziah died that Isaiah was left with no choice but to turn his attention to God. So thus he says, when Uzziah dies, I saw the Lord. I wish I had somebody praying with me. Now let me put this on the record. Isaiah is having a vision. So we do not know whether Uzziah dies prior to his vision. Y'all not talking. Or whether he dies after his vision. He is having a vision of Uzziah's death, and he says that when Uzziah died, something amazing happened. I need to tell you, brothers and sisters, it's always dangerous when you put your trust in anybody other than God. Y'all have heard me preaching here many times. We trust folk we don't know more than we trust the God we do know. We'll pull up at the sandwich shop. We'll order a sandwich. Don't know who cooked it. Don't know who fixed it. Don't know what they put on it. Somebody ain't going nowhere today. And we won't even look to see what their health rating is. We just unwrap it and start eating, We trust folk we don't know more than we trust God. We'll go to a restaurant, sit down, order food and eat it. Won't even take the time to walk up to the front and see what the health rating is. I'm surprised some of us are still alive. We trust folk we don't know more than we trust the God. I wish I had some. Now, Uzziah was a good king. But when you get a chance to read 2 Chronicles 26, you're going to discover that he was just an ordinary man. As a matter of fact, because of how the people felt about him, Uzziah went into the temple. Brother Rick, we just studied this. You'll see it in 2 Chronicles 26. Uzziah went into the temple and he tried to act like he was a priest. Y'all ain't talking to me, because I don't care what anybody says. There are some responsibilities that are in the church that God has left to those of us that he has called and chosen to do them. Talk to me, somebody. Now listen, all y'all can give an exhortation, but you ain't got no business up here preaching if God hadn't called you. I know all y'all think you've been called. Talk to me, somebody. But God calls who he wants to call. talk to me, somebody. I said, God calls who he wants to call. I don't deal with preachers who volunteer to preach. I like preachers who run from preaching. Are y'all hearing me here? Because if somebody's running to something, they think it's all glamour and glory, and they don't understand that this is a business that makes you a candidate for the crucifixion. Are y'all hearing me? I told the preachers this morning, one of the great challenges of pastoring is to have a vision. And to be in a predicament like me, to have pastored a church so long, when you give your vision, you've been with folks so long, you already know who's going to fight it. You already know who's going to say no. You already know who's going to say, I can't see it. Are y'all hearing me? And may I tell y'all, the last words of a dying church is, we've never done it that way. Are y'all hearing me here? But I tell you what, Isaiah, listen. Isaiah says, and because he got in there and act like he was a priest, God struck him with leprosy. Are y'all hearing me here? It's dangerous when you try to do, and so Uzziah ultimately dies. And Isaiah says, when that happened, he said, something happened to me. I want to tell somebody in here, take your eyes off of your Uzziah. Talk to me, somebody. And put your eyes, there are just three simple things in the text. Take your eyes off your Uzziah and put your eyes on God. When Uzziah went to sleep, here's what Isaiah said. He said, I saw somebody else. Let's look here. First of all, here's what he saw. He saw, watch this, a divine sovereign. Look at the text. He says, in the year Uzziah died, I saw the Lord, Adonai. I saw the Lord. And look at where he is. He is sitting on a throne. May I tell you, brothers and sisters, I don't care how good Uzziah is to you, God is in charge. Talk to me, somebody. I know they got a lot of crazy stuff going on in Washington. Are y'all hearing me? They got a lot of crazy stuff going on about the seat you run. Tell me informed. Got a lot of crazy stuff going on about the seat he is trying to get. They want to do away with it, but God will intervene. Are y'all hearing me here? I don't care what is going on in Washington. I don't care what is going on in Montgomery. They're trying to mess with poor people who are on Medicaid. They want to come out with all this block grant stuff. The Bible says the poor you'll have with you always. It ought to be some stuff. We are strong enough in America. We got enough money to go overseas and meddle in their business. We got enough money to leave poor people alone. I wish I had somebody. Don't listen, leave what they call SNAP or food stamps. Leave that stuff alone. We got enough money around here to do whatever we want to do. Leave poor people. But I'm trying to tell y'all, I don't care what they do. There's a God in heaven. I better grab that song. He sits high, looks down low. He guides my feet wherever I go, and when I don't understand. I have a father. Okay, he said, I saw him sitting on the throne, and he was, let me borrow the King James, high, lifted up. Now watch this. In the Oriental age and period and place, a sovereign was known by the length of his train. The longer his train was, the more powerful he was. Look at what Isaiah said he saw. His train filled the temple. In other words, his train was so long that there was no room for another Lord. Y'all ain't talking to me. And what I'm trying to tell y'all, you got to make up in your mind who's going to be your Lord. Huh? Whether it's going Uzziah is going to be your Lord or he's going. I tell you, I cast my vote today. I cast my vote today. I want him to be my Lord. And the reason I choose him over Uzziah, because Uzziah was down. Y'all didn't come to have no church.
Go ahead now.
What time the game come on? 5:30? Shoot, I got a long time to preach. So he says, hang your hat on God. He says, I saw a divine sight. But here's the second thing.
All right.
You see, when you see God, now, I don't have time to unpack all of this. The Bible says that no man has seen God and lived. But keep in mind, Isaiah is having a vision. Just like when you all came to Sunday school this morning. You see Jesus being picked up by the devil. Now, I hope y'all know that it was a lot of hyperbole in that lesson. Huh? Because the battleground with Satan is not in a wilderness, but it's in your mind. Talk to me, somebody. And that shouldn't be too hard for us to understand that Satan took Jesus. Huh? I'm looking at some of y'all now. Some of y'all laying on the bed. Somebody, y'all missed it, didn't you? So I can't tell y'all what goes on in our class, but there's a dude in our class this morning. In order to drive that point home, there's a guy in our class. He quoted a blues song. There's a guy in our class. He said, dude in our class has been preaching 33 years. That's who did it. He said that there is a song that was out in the day. Your body is here with me. But your mind is on the other side of town. And that dude told them, now don't deal with the context of that song, because somebody get hurt if you deal with the context of that song. Are y'all hearing me? But the devil can pick you up and take you somewhere while you're sitting right here in church, because the devil will get in your mind and have you at home in a pot of collard greens. I wish I had somebody. The devil will have you at home eating greens and cornbread and ham. That's what we having today. Are y'all hearing me here? The devil can pick you up and take you somewhere. We were in our lecture series. I got to hurry. We were in our lecture series this week. And I told the guy, I said, man, I went there to sleep. I told him, I just fell asleep. I don't know what happened. You know, when you're diabetic, you just put on your diabetes. You don't say whoever was up there was boring. You just, I would drop it. Reverend Jeremy said, "Yo, come on." He got me, and I'm looking at him like, "Who are you?" He walked my door. "Come on, you got to get some air. Y'all go get him some water." I said, "Jay, take your hand off me, boy. I just fell asleep." Right in that worship. Can I tell y'all what the devil did? He took me. He got me. He started rocking me. I wish I had somebody. You know how you feel that sleep coming on and you just sit there and you start. I wish I had somebody. Then you stop going back and forth, you start going side to side. I wish I had somebody. Before you know it, you loosen up your tie. And don't start sliding your feet out your shoes. I wish I had somebody that'll help me here. Right in the worship, Satan rock. I'm trying to tell y'all that the devil will pick you up and he'll take you somewhere. Don't let the devil have your mind. The devil will tell you what you can't do. Talk to me, somebody. When I came to the pulpit, all the devil was telling me about who I couldn't become, where I would never preach at, what I'll never have. Are y'all hearing me here? But I'm here to tell y'all that God can take your situation. I wish I had somebody. It's all a church in Birmingham I hadn't preached at, from the largest down to the small. Who would ever thought that a country joker from Cartersville would be preaching in 6th Avenue Baptist Church, New Pilgrim Baptist Church? I even preaching in First Baptist. Who would have thought that a country hick like me, that God can pick you up? Don't let the devil tell you who you can't be. You got to learn to say, I can do all things. Through Christ. Gives me the strength. Here's the second thing. I got to go. There's a divine sovereign. But the second thing, when Uzziah died, Isaiah said, I saw a desperate surrender. He said some stuff happened. Y'all, when God come into worship, some stuff will happen. Yes. And when you see God, you can see those seraphims. Those seraphims are those burning ones. With 6 wings. They flying around. Holy. Holy. Holy.
All right now.
Y'all ain't talking to me.
Come on now, Pastor.
Why would they just be saying one word? I think when you look at us, one thing I love about the church, I got to hurry. Where else can you go that other than church? They can sing a whole song with one word. Some of y'all saying, what are you talking about? Only in church. See, singing is a response to God. So, what the church did, especially the Kojic church. So, the Reverend, your auntie Millie, she was Kojic. I have some family in the Napdale Kojic and all that stuff. And they got a one-word song. And so I had to do a little research. Y'all know me. Why would you have a one-word song? Well, a one-word song is a response to God.
All right.
And you don't be talking to people. You be singing a praise and an anthem to God. I wish I had some. So, in a one-word song, Donald, God will look at you and say to you, have I been good to you?
All right, Pastor.
That's when you sing a one-word song. Yeah.
All right. Hey, Pastor. All right.
God asks you, have I not brought you? What's your response? Yeah. I wish I had some church folk in. Hadn't I been taking care of you? Yeah. Hadn't I been helping you pay your bills? Yeah. I wish, hadn't I given you a reasonable portion of health and strength? Yeah. That's when you stop looking at other folk and you start talking to God, because when you know what God has done for you, you ought to be in the house by yourself, driving in your car, get in the shower, nobody there but you and God, and you ought to look up at the Lord and say, yeah.
Go ahead, Pastor.
Y'all, I feel a shout coming on me.
Yes, sir.
Got to have one word song. Are y'all hearing me? So here's what he said. He had a desperate surrender. After he saw God, look at verse number 5. He said, woe is me. I am ruined because I'm a man of unclean lips and I live among a people of unclean lips. And the latter part of verse 5 is troubling, that he could be so wretched and said he was ruined. Some of y'all ain't said amen yet. But he says, for my eyes have seen the King, the Lord of hosts. I want to park right here and work for just a few seconds. You will never see God's holiness until you acknowledge your hellishness. Now, for real.
Okay.
For real. We base too much of our salvation on what we don't do.
All right now. Yeah.
Some stuff is just personal prerogative. I mean, I just don't drink. I know y'all think I be drunk, but it's just my personal prerogative. I just don't drink. I'm sorry.
All right, Pastor.
That's why I don't come to nothing where y'all be at, because I don't want to.
Pastor, come on.
We got to go. But back in the day, I'm finna be so messy.
Okay, come on.
People would have different things, Christmas, and then they could have got on to. I'm so messy. And so I got home, the phone rings. The phone rings. Would you accept this call? I said, oh, who is this? This before call ID, y'all. No, who is this? What? You have a call from a jail or something? Who is this? I'm glad all these folk dead. They gonna hunt me tonight. So finally I answered the call, and they said, well, you, I said, oh, I can hear somebody yelling in the back, Pastor, it's me. So I answered the phone. I went and got him out of jail. I said, what you doing in jail? Pastor, fooling around with them ushers. I said, what they got you for? DUI? I said, Lord have mercy. I said, where your car? He said, Pastor, I don't know. He said, I couldn't think of nobody but your number. I said, what? I said, okay. I said, come on. I'll take you home. We'll get your car Monday. Pastor, don't tell the church. I wish I had somebody. But y'all want to know why I didn't fire him for being an usher? Because all of us need to take a real look at ourselves. And when you take a look at yourself, you will stop looking at other folk under-eyed and cross-eyed, and you will say to yourself, it's me, oh Lord, it's not my mother, not my father, but it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. Stop judging people. Your salvation is not predicated on what you don't do. Your salvation is predicated on what he did. Woe is me.
Tell it, Pastor.
I got to move past this. Every preacher I know got some woe in him. I wish I had some. I said every preacher got some woe in him. Somebody was stealing some electricity from Tip once. Next door neighbors, Tip called the house on Friday. I was chilling out. And my wife said, come on, we got to go over Tip. I said, what's wrong? She said, somebody's stealing her electricity. I said, what? I said, okay, let's go. Tip called while we were on the way. Tip got that Jackson in. Somebody, my wife answered the phone. I said, she said, what, Tip, who is that talking to you like that? I said, I'm driving. I said, somebody's talking, who is that? Tip, you better get back. Y'all, Pastor E.O. Jackson died.
Yes, sir.
I ran every traffic light. And when I got there, I was pacing, I was mad. So I'm finna go over there, I'm finna kick this door in. People peeping out, I'm gonna get you. The sheriff said, who is that? They said Barney Fife. Tip gonna get me. The sheriff, he couldn't write for looking at me because I was walking. Tip said, I'm sitting there telling him, that's my dad. He mad right now. Ain't no telling what he may say. Sheriff, he said, sir. I said, hey, look here, man. You better go over there. Don't talk to me. Are y'all hearing me here? All I'm trying to tell y'all is that I sure can preach on Sunday. Y'all remember he said a moment ago, woe am I. I got my mouth messed up. I'm ruined, but I've seen the King. Are y'all hearing me here? When your Uzziah dies, it'll bring out the real you. And it'll help you to see God like he said, here am I, send me. God, you'll get somebody. I've got to get past my Uzziah. If I can get past my Uzziah, I'll be ready for you to use me. They used to sing a song, old song that says, use me, Lord, in thy service. Draw me nearer. I wish I had somebody. If you want God to use you, get past. I'm done, y'all. I've been over time. Get past your Uzziah. And when you get past your Uzziah, oh my God, God will equip you to be used by him. God, it hurt me when I lost my Uzziah. I had my hope in him. Lord, I didn't want to see Uzziah go. You used him to bless the nation. But God says, leave Uzziah alone. Put your eyes on me. If you think you were blessed while Uzziah was living, just look at what I have for you. I told my wife this morning, I said, all of my past is buried now. Anybody who was in my past, whether they were good or hurt and whatever, God has turned my attention to what's ahead for me. And I believe, God, my last days are going to be better. Come on, brothers. Let your Uzziah die. And if your Uzziah dies, you will see God. And when you see God, you will be ready to be used by God. Here am I. Send me. I'll go. Let go of your Uzziah and come on to the Lord. If you're in here now, man, woman, girl, or boy, the first call of the 2 or 3 that I'll give, the first call is a call to salvation. Let me just tell you, God can't use you until he first saves you. When he saves you, does not mean that he makes you perfect, but he'll save you and then he'll seal you. That means you are saved and sealed until the day of redemption. Doesn't mean that you're perfect. You are a becoming child of God. And can you believe that there's going to come a day that God will look at you and can't tell you from Jesus? I wish I asked. We are his becoming children. If you're in here, but you first and you found yourself dependent on Uzziah until you walked away from God. But don't you know that the door of the Lord's church stands open and you can make your way back to a right relationship with God? If you're in here, You come, maybe you're in here and you need to recommit and rededicate, or you're in between churches. However, any of these ways I've authorized you to come, you come. And if you're looking for a church, I'll tell you what, I ain't gonna never try to be anything other than a word preacher. Somebody told me, said, E.O., you need to be a word preacher. I said, as far as I know, that's all I know, the word. I said, I am a word preacher. If you're in here, man, woman, girl, or boy, won't you come right now? Won't you come right now? Come to Jesus. Come to Jesus. Come to Jesus. That's old church, y'all. Just now. Just now. Come to Jesus. Come to Jesus. If you're in here, come on. The old folks said, He will save you. He will save you. He will save you. He will save you just now. He will save you. He will save you. Here's the last thing. Only trust Him. Only trust Him. Only trust Him. Only trust Him. Just now. Only trust